Jai Shri Radhe, Shri Vallabhadhi Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Dharan Ki Jai, Jai Shri Krishna. Today is the 13th day of the reading, Varta number 4, section 1. Tulsan, Padmanabh Das's daughter, Bhav Prakash. In the eternal Leela, Tulsan is Padmanabh Das's Saki, Padmanabh Das is Champakalata, and Tulsan her Saki, Mani Kundala. Tulsan was of a very pure and peaceful nature, and was as bright as the effulgence of diamond earrings. She was always ready to serve Padmanabh Das. Part 1. Once a disciple of Sri Acharyaji visited Tulsan's home at the time of the Aarti at lunchtime for Sri Mathuranathji. Tulsan suggested to that Vaishnava that he take his bath and then partake of Sri Mathuranathji's prasad. However, the Vaishnava replied that he would bathe and have prasad at home. Tulsan did not say anything, and the Vaishnava went home. Tulsanji felt much regret that the Vaishnava had gone home without prasad. Bhav Prakash. The Vaishnava had not taken prasad due to his adherence to rules of caste, and that is why she had not insisted. He was a god Brahmin, and in the eternal Leela he was a Saki of Sri Lalitaji named Saurabh, who was always emitting the sweet smell of roses. He was Lalitaji's Saki, whereas she was a Saki of Champakalata, with whom Sri Mathuranathji was happily residing, and that is why he refused the prasad. His reasoning was that he would need Sri Lalitaji's permission to do so. Therefore he went home, and hence Tulsan was upset. Tulsan thought to herself, he didn't partake of the Sakari prasad here because of the considerations of caste, but tomorrow I will offer puris, fried breads, which are anasakari, and hopefully he will partake. She sieved the flour, prepared them, and kept them ready. Then she went to sleep without taking prasad herself. That night Sri Mathuranathji appeared to her in a dream and told her, that Vaishnava will again come here, so this time you will get to feed him. The Lord told Tulsan, don't worry, the Vaishnava will come back tomorrow and accept the prasad. Sri Thakurji next went to the Vaishnava and asked him why he had not had prasad at Tulsan's home. He said, tomorrow you must eat there. It is Sri Lalitaji's wish. Sri Lalitaji herself told him to take prasad there because there was no difference between her and Tulsan's love for the Lord. Part 2. In the morning, Tulsan cooked the puris. She awoke Sri Mathuranathji and began to bathe and dress him. While she was doing so, that same Vaishnava, having finished his own home seva early, came to Tulsan's home. Tulsan made the offerings and then stepped outside. Seeing the Vaishnava there, she greeted him with the Lord's name and suggested that he might take a bath and then worship the Lord. The Vaishnava replied that he had already bathed. When Tulsan received the Lord's offerings back as prasad and performed the Aarti ceremony, the Vaishnava had the sight of Sri Mathuranathji. She then closed the Lord's room for the afternoon rest period and set a place for the Vaishnava to take his prasad. The plate was of puri, crushed sugar, yogurt and salad. She invited the Vaishnava to eat, but he refused, saying that he wanted to have the Sakari prasad. Tulsan said he should not worry, and that she understood his reasons for not taking. The Vaishnava said, this is true, and that is what I thought at first, but now I have been given the order to partake, and therefore please feed me the Sakari prasad. Tulsan gave him a plate containing both types of preparations. He happily ate them before returning home, and Tulsan felt very happy. Bhav Prakash. One should always respect any Vaishnava who comes to the home. In the Srimad Bhagavatam there is a comparison made between a snake's hole and a home where there is not any prasad to share. Tulsan was very strict about adhering to such a rule. Another time Sri Gosaiji came to Tulsan's home. She served him very nicely. She treated him as if he were more important than even Sri Thakurji. Sri Gosaiji was very happy with her service. One day, when he had finished his meals and was taking a rest, Tulsan read to him from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he was extremely gratified. Sri Gosaiji declared, it is only natural that Padmanabh Das's children would be as good as you. Bhav Prakash. Tulsan was a Saki in the Lord's eternal Leela, so why should would she not be so conscientious? Sri Gosaiji is the form of Sri Chandravaliji. Her relationship with Sri Thakurji is classed as parakiya, in other words, not that of a wife to him. So they enjoyed a lot of humour together. Once he asked Tulsan with a cheeky glance of the eyes, "Does Sri Thakurji grant you the bliss of his form? You are his Sakhi and you serve him, so you must have developed a togetherness. You and I are partners in this." In this way he joked with her. However, Tulsan was totally sattvic in her heart, very pure and proper, and so she was not so cheeky in character. Then Sri Gosaiji asked her whether Sri Thakurji spoke to her directly. Tulsan replied, "I just eat my belly full and sleep deeply. I can only say that I daily look at Sri Acharyaji's written instructions." Sri Gosaiji was very pleased to hear such an answer. Bhav Prakash, the inner meaning. There are several levels of explanation for this statement. The most important implication is that Sri Thakurji grants me as much experience of which I am worthy, as much as I can digest, and that I enjoy good sleep together with my Lord. The Lord is my husband, Swakiya Bhav, and therefore I am happy to have no worries. The next interpretation is that Tulsan is telling her Guru, "O Maharaj, I have spent many births separated from my beloved Lord, but now have come to him. In none of those other births did I feel satisfaction from hunger, neither did I enjoy sound sleep. Now through your grace I have surrendered to this path of grace. It is in this birth that I am satisfied and also able to sleep contentedly in the shelter of my Lord. All the other births were spent in the sadness of ignorance." From the point of view of the mood of humility, Tulsan is stating, "Why would the Lord speak directly to me? I am only like an animal that eats and then sleeps, and I only do service when I am forced to, like a donkey that only moves when it is beaten. I like eating, and I only make seva because otherwise people would criticize me for being Padmanabh Das's daughter and not serving. I only do it to impress them, so why would Sri Thakurji let me have his direct experience?" Suradasji has sung, "Who would bother to speak to one as fallen as I am, and who only likes to eat and sleep? I am one of those fallen beings who seeks comfort of the body. However, I do read Sri Acharyaji's teachings every day. Even if one doesn't fully comprehend the inner meaning of his writings, the simple, regular reading of these teachings will be blessed by the Lord with his experience." She did not infer this reading to be a religious duty by which she would fulfill some scriptural obligation, but rather was extolling the power of Sri Acharyaji's written teachings, which brought with them the grace of the Lord. Sri Gosaiji felt very happy to hear Tulsan's wise and loving words. Part 3 continued. Tulsanji was thus a very accomplished Vaishnava. Sri Gosaiji was always very pleased with her. There is truly no end to her story. And thus concludes Varta 4, Section 1, the story of Tulsan, Padmanabh Das's daughter. We continue tomorrow. Jai Shri Vallabhadisha Ki. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Shri Govardhan Nath Ji Ki Jai.